Reports suggest that lockdown restrictions could be implemented soon as cases has continued to surge. Boxing Day has been penciled in for an announcement with measures possibly starting as early as December 27th. I can add to that in Wales it's going to be the 26th, so brace yourself, guys. Under the plans, the Liverpool Echo says indoor mixing with people you don't live with would be banned except for work purposes only.
Okay. What?
Hold on, what?
Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of Out the Box podcast with myself, Jago, and the two legends that be with me.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Out the Box podcast. Big shout out to the panel here today. If you're enjoying, obviously, the videos that we've been putting out for you guys, make sure that you leave a like on this video and interact with us in the comments down below. And also make sure that you want to hit that subscribe button over on Outshit TV. Shout out to the panel. How are we all doing?
Yo, listen, you know what time it is. Manlike. Listen, wow. I hope you enjoy the episode. It's going to be a banger, as per.
So, pick up yourselves all the time, every time, as always. This week, we're going to be looking at the episode called, drumroll, please, Impending Lockdown. Jeez. So, we're going to be looking at the impending lockdown that is soon, maybe to come. Very soon.
Yeah. How soon do you reckon?
Judging off from last year, very soon. Very soon.
Okay. Jay?
Definitely, yeah. I reckon.
I'm speaking.
When I say extremely soon, yeah, I mean, I would say not. I wouldn't say far. I mean, 3-4 weeks. I think maybe.
Okay. My answer to that would be sooner than both of you think. Really? Okay. I do believe that there is going to be a certain point, and at that point, then it's going to be like, right, we need to do this, and then we're going to see some stuff, you know? Yeah. But as I said, we'll most really get more into that in the episode, people. So listen up, watch out. Let's get going, man.
Lovely. Right, so we'll start with the first one. I'll deal with this one from The Telegraph, very renowned paper in the UK. They have this article, UK has entered lockdown by stealth as country begins self-imposed Christmas isolation. And this article, basically, we're going to go through, is just going to be looking at the amount of cancellations that businesses have been having to do because of this lockdown happening. Right, so Britain has been pushed into a lockdown by stealth ahead of Christmas, with people staying away from work and cancelling parties rather than risking contracting COVID-19. Restaurants, pubs and hotels reported cancellations report running at 40% for Christmas parties, while offices were operating at just 12% capacity, the lowest figure since the official lockdown ended last March. Traffic data suggested the volume of cars on the road during Wednesday rush hour dropped to just over half normal figures, while rail passengers numbers plunged into August holiday levels.
Do we know what sort of levels they were, though?
I would say they were probably quite low because everyone's on holiday and everyone's out, so you wouldn't probably find a lot of users.
That's true.
I would assume. With 10 days left until Christmas Day, millions of people have started trying to avoid the coronavirus infection that will force them into isolation over the holiday period. One analysis claimed that the hospitality industry alone would lose 1.3 billion over the course of December. Searches for "should I cancel my Christmas party" tripled in the last 24 hours between Monday and Tuesday, according to the new data from Google Trends.
Bloody hell.
Now, just on this point, this is what I believe, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Just as when the first lockdown happened, yeah, they try to encourage people to go out. I feel that right now, because of all of this, which is really going to be affecting the economy, Boris Johnson ain't going to want to seem like he's locking down the country, because
not yet, anyway.
Yeah, not yet, because that would make this mad. So
just remember though, that man is in a catch-22 right now. If he pleases the country, if he pleases the public, yeah, he's actually, excuse my language, but he's actually pissing off his party. But if he pleases his party, we already know that he's pissed off the public, and he's just gonna piss them off even more. So what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do that's gonna make you think anything's gonna change?
You believe that what he's currently doing in place is just to appease the public then?
I believe this is his last stand, isn't it? I believe he needs to resign, and I think his party's trying to tell him that too.
I reckon the same thing. I reckon it's the last stand.
Is his last stand.
It feels like a last stand right now.
Yeah. Feels like a standoff.
Yeah.
And it's him one against his whole party. Here's the thing though, if he goes and stands to the other side and turns around, it's him versus the whole of the country, all of the public.
Yeah.
So what's he to do? The only thing really he can do is step down and put someone else in the firing line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're doing. There's no put him in the place and everything's going to be all right. I truly believe you're just putting someone else in the firing line, because they're going to fuck up just as bad as anybody else has.
Real talk. So these are basically case studies of a couple of people who own businesses and just giving their experience on what's been going on. So Tom Kendridge is a chef who runs 6 restaurants in London, Manchester and Buckinghamshire. Posted online printouts of pages showing 176 table cancellations for 604 diners in just one of his restaurants.
Oh my God! Imagine how many restaurants does this dude have?
He has 6.
6.
At least he has a change, because think about it, if you were one business and
that could have done your business.
Yeah, you're done. You know what I mean?
That could be business, man.
Yeah, that could be catastrophic, man. Because I think what people are forgetting with this, when you're a big, I'm not naming any names, but when you're a big company and they close for X amount of time,
or a franchise, or
exactly, like big companies like that, it don't really matter to them. But when you're a small
corporate,
I've seen so many companies disappear throughout COVID. I swear.
And what makes it, and the funny thing to that, as I add to that as well, the funny thing is all these small businesses, he's talking about this, and he's got 6 restaurants, so he's got a little chain going on. As you said though, what about the guys that have only got the 1 restaurant and they're hitting them sort of numbers, cancellations?
Yeah, they're done. And how are they supposed to take people when they ain't even being able to draw anyone in?
Yeah.
Because to me, I believe that he's at a certain, even though it's hitting very hard, I believe he's at a certain level that he can still sustain something.
That's what I was saying. So him having the chain and having 6 assets in some sort of way that he can keep himself sustained. But with it being one person, a singular business, like how are you supposed to survive in them sort of conditions? They did this sort of thing with pubs. There was a lot of smaller owned family business pubs and stuff that as soon as that they did that open and closing pubs and whatever else and this limitation and everything, businesses just went under. So yeah, man, this is very counterproductive.
This is a list of cancellations taken in one of the restaurants in the last 6 days. 654 guests. I understand why public health is the most important thing, but what will the government do to support the industry? Many places like mine will crumble without help. And he's saying that's 6 restaurants crumbling without help. And you're talking exactly what we're saying, like the smaller businesses, if he can't cope with it.
Yeah, they ain't got a chance.
You know what I mean? Curtains, bro. Curtain calls, but everywhere.
Fred Saru, sorry if I didn't pronounce that name right. I'm not really good with them things there. Another case study, general manager of Michelin-starred Galvin at Windows in London's Mayfair, a star of the television programme First Dates.
Oh, Fred. The French guy, Fred. That host, basically.
I haven't even seen that. On First Date.
Yeah, I know who that dude is.
Complained of a tsunami of cancellations, which he warned would be catastrophic for the sector. Staff will lose their jobs and income between now and January without any hope of getting a new one, he said. Sally Abe, chef at Blue Bar Pub in Westminster, said it had.
Heard of that pub?
Yeah. Said it had recorded 110 cancellations on Tuesday alone.
Whoa.
So as we can see, already the fear of having your Christmas cancelled because you got COVID, because this is how they wanted you to feel every single time, innit? They are now hurting themselves by not going out to restaurants and supporting their locals. Because in the next couple of months, what are we going to be looking at for businesses?
I believe some businesses need to get ready. It's going to sound really bad, and I'm really sorry to say it, but some of them might need to get ready for the worst. Because I feel like once the government have got enough money, again, they're going to start not caring and doing what they need to do. They've got the money to do stuff now, innit? So if a small business is about to go under, they're not looking to, as I said, they might get that little piece of money that they're looking to give out, either furlough or them self-employed grants, and you know what I mean? But like, how many of them got it once and then didn't get it again, or didn't get it at all?
There was a lot of potholes with them as well, where people were.
There's a lot of loopholes that they can go through, like. So I still see it as some businesses need to get ready for the worst or prepare for the worst now, which will help you later.
And I also think, to add on to that some people who've obviously faced this situation from last year, who were lucky enough to survive throughout this time within COVID, will think back to last year and think, okay, I was in this similar situation. Maybe I should kind of brace myself for what potentially could happen. But yeah, it's going to affect a lot of people differently. But I think a lot of businesses are going to go under.
What do you reckon, Jay? What's your opinion? What's your view?
Well, from day dot when they started this whole madness, man, I had a feeling like one of their main aims was to destroy the economy, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how far they can go or how far they're gonna go, because I mean, look at how far they've gone already in front of people's eyes. It's not even behind people's backs how they normally do it. It's in front of people's eyes. In front of people's
face. Daylight thing.
And it's like, when's it gonna get to a point when they're gonna try to shut down the business of someone who's got so much money that can just shut them down? When's it gonna come to a point when someone's gonna react and then there's gonna be a whole lot of madness? I just think
that's true.
It's definitely gonna destroy small businesses, and then medium businesses as well are gonna struggle hard, man. You gotta be.
Yeah, I think it's going to be sort of like a chain reaction, but instead of it trickling from the top downwards, it's going to be like ascending. It's going to be like an ascending sound, if you get what I'm saying. And like with what you were saying regarding like you want the economy to crash, I do hear what you're saying there, because remember saying they've been trying to fill up money for time now, innit? They've been trying to, and they believe that they've got enough money now. What makes you think that they're not going to go and spend all of that and then crash it? And then once it crashes proper, that's when I think like there's going to be a lot of chaos. And as much as there's some people that might not believe this, there's some people that do believe this, but I keep on hearing this still to this day. I keep on hearing this. Was it Great Reset, Grand Reset, something like that? And they're trying to say that this is going to be part of that.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean, the economy crashing is going to be part of it.
I always heard that the UK, just alongside loads of other countries, have massive debt, like trillions of dollars, pounds of debt.
We are, listen, right. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry, like we must understand one thing here. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go a little bit back now, innit? Like when David Cameron was in power in Great Britain, like as Conservative leader, as Prime Minister, a standalone Prime Minister, not just part of the coalition when he was part with Nick Clegg and that, you know what I mean? That dude had a 736 trillion pounds in debt. Imagine what that debt could be now.
Yeah.
Very true. Guys, if you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to go and leave a like on this video and go and slap the notification bell.
Come on, you know. Press that button. So, you would think if you were a conspiracy theorist that, well, you know, the whole world is kind of in debt, yeah? So what's the best way of getting past that? Trying to make that money back, or resetting the whole thing?
So, shout out to Essex Live. If you guys want to go and check
Come
out
on.
all these links for yourself, please do so. Obviously, as one thing we have said in throughout all the different episodes, make sure you do your own research as well. You know what I mean? Look into things before you want to try and make an opinion. Anyways, there will be another lockdown. UK lockdown date leaked as date penciled in for Boris Johnson's announcement. Reports say there are plans for a 2-week circuit breaker lockdown after Christmas. These are like their mini lockdowns. So let's read more into this.
Article was done on the 20th of December.
Yeah, so it's pretty recent, you know what I mean, only a couple of days ago.
Mhm.
It's been reported from the date for the next circuit breaker lockdown, which has been leaked. Coronavirus cases have reached record levels since the pandemic first began as a result of the highly transmissible Omicron variant, aka No Crimbo, which was first discovered in South Africa. Omicron cases, I'm not calling it Omicron, No Crimbo cases of the virus doubles every 2 to 3 days. It has been estimated that it's feared that the lockdown style restrictions could be imposed to help slow the spread of the virus. All right. So reports suggest that lockdown restrictions could be implemented soon as cases has continued to surge. Boxing Day has been penciled in for an announcement with measures possibly starting as early as December 27th. I can add to that in Wales it's going to be the 26th, so brace yourself, guys. Under the plans, the Liverpool Echo says indoor mixing with people you don't live with would be banned except for work purposes only. Okay.
What?
Hold
on, what?
Let me read that again.
No.
Read that again. I know exactly.
Under the plans, under the plans, the Liverpool Echo says indoor mixing with people you don't live with would be banned except for work purposes.
Wow.
So I'm a YouTuber. So does that mean I can have everybody in my yard and just turn the camera on and say, oh, I'm live streaming?
Yeah, that's what.
The BBC reports the leaked minutes of a meeting of the Scientific Advisory Group of the emergency held on the Thursday. Scientists have told ministers that tougher measures need to be brought in very soon. So, you guys what do you think very soon is going to be? Like I said, for Wales, it's the 26th. So for England, you guys are my correspondents. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I said it, bro. I truly believe, if we're going to go into some sort of lockdown, they're going to try and fling that on us 27th, 28th.
Yeah, it says it right there.
You know what I mean? And now I'm seeing it there. I'm like, well, boy, here's the thing, right? Because this is one of the first times I'm hearing about it, I still need to, it's saying the BBC reports of leaked minutes. So I'm going to need to look at the BBC also and see what it's saying.
As such, the government is reported to be drawing up plans for a 2-week circuit breaker lockdown after Christmas. The Welsh government said it would close nightclubs from December 27th. I did see an update today, now it was 2 hours ago on the BBC website. They're closing from the 26th. But it remains to be seen whether the circuit breaker begins the same day in England. As of now, the plans have yet to reach minstrel levels and have not been officially confirmed. While you guys are over on YouTube, don't forget to go and subscribe to Out the Box. And
big red button.
A like on this video, and obviously we want to hear your opinions. Do you agree with us? Do you not agree with us?
You know what I mean? Straight up. Like, your view is value. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to update you quickly on the latest COVID situation. There's no doubt that Omicron continues to surge with a speed unlike anything we've seen before. The situation remains extremely difficult, but I also recognise that people have been waiting to hear whether their Christmas plans, your Christmas plans, are going to be affected. So what I can say tonight is that naturally we can't rule out any further measures after Christmas. We're going to keep a constant eye on the data, do whatever it takes to protect public health. But in view of the continuing uncertainty about several things, severity of Omicron, uncertainty about the hospitalisation rate or the impact of the boosters, we don't think
#No Grimbo
today that there is enough evidence to justify any tougher measures before Christmas. We continue to monitor Omicron very closely, and if the situation deteriorates, we will be ready to take action if needed. What this means is that people can go ahead with their Christmas plans, but the situation remains finely balanced, and I would urge everyone to exercise caution, to keep protecting yourselves and your loved ones, especially the vulnerable, and remember to keep following the guidance. Wear a mask indoors when required to do so, keep fresh air circulating, and test before you
I took 2 words from all of this.
relatives. So if you have not done so already, then please drop everything, find a walk-in, or go online and make an appointment and get boosted now. Thank you very much, and happy Christmas.
The 2 most important words I heard in all of that: situation, if situations is like, bro, just tell the truth.
Listen, like that man has just basically told you we're going into lockdown real soon. Hurry up with your fam. Like,
do what you gotta do, and then I'm blaming you.
You know what I mean? Mad.
That's the line that got me the most, isn't it? Today.
There is
not enough evidence. Is just that's the fact. Well, what about tomorrow, mate?
I was just about to say that.
You know what I mean?
Yes, man.
You know what I mean? What about the next day? What about next week?
Oh, but the date is inconclusive, innit? So we don't know.
What
What are we doing?
Hold tight.
It's a bit shaky.
Not only that, he's looking a bit sheepish, isn't it?
A bit. Flipping that, mate.
Bit sheepish.
I'm not even going to say that, but wait, there you go.
So from listening to that, obviously, and hearing what he had to say, do you think at any point this could be a last stand from the man before he thinks, I've done everything I can, I need to step down?
Yeah.
Do you hear a last stand coming? Do you hear, not that it's happening now, but do you hear one coming? I believe I do.
I definitely do, man. I mean, even look at the man's face, man.
He's trying to. I feel like he's. You need to. But he's trying to do it in a nice way.
He's at a point of desperation right now, B.Dot. Like you said, he's in the catch-22. He's desperate now to find a solution, innit? That will work for both people, but it's not going to happen. Never going to happen.
No. Too many of his party want him out now, and too many of the public don't trust him.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Rock on a hard place, isn't it?
Ain't gonna know where to go.
So, will there be a lockdown after Christmas as no crimbo cases rise? Yeah. Sorry, people, but this is what it is to me, innit? Like, all you got to do is find the whole name, Omicron B. Do your thing, you'll find out. You can see it basically there without the beat. You can basically see no crimbo there. Like, you know what I mean? So new COVID variant is highly transmissible and remains serious cause of concern over festive period. Which obviously we've just heard man talk. So once that's done, we know what going with that.
This was only about 6 hours ago as well.
Yeah, man. So this is recent. The emergence of Omicron. The emergence of the Omicron variant is causing concern around the world, not least because it is thought to be highly transmissible and because the 32 mutations of its spike protein suggest it might be able to resist current vaccines. The UK has recorded 14 deaths from the new variant so far and more than 60,000 confirmed cases, prompting fears that further social restrictions could soon be imposed on the British public. What are we saying about that on a quick note?
Just before we get any further into that, 32 mutations.
Yeah.
That's insane. From last year, what was we at the start of last year? Like 8?
5.
5. 32. Jeez.
Right,
that's because it's been forced to mutate this time round, isn't it? Normally don't get forced so much, but now it's been forced by these vaccines to have to mutate.
It's mad. So, but Prime Minister Boris Johnson has confirmed that no further restrictions will be introduced before Christmas, explaining that the people can go ahead with their plans, a decision that allows him to avoid a repeat of his notorious address of the 19th of December 2020, when he reluctantly imposed tough new measures at the last minute and dashed the festive hopes of millions.
Politician that stole Christmas.
Yeah. However, the PM also reiterated on Tuesday that he cannot rule out further measures in the coming days, leaving open the possibility of new controls on pubs and nightclubs by New Year's Eve. He was speaking on the same day as Chancellor Rishi Sunak announced $1 billion in support for the hospitality industry after customers cancelled reservations in droves in response to the latest twists in the pandemic. And his counterpart in Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, announced fresh restrictions on sporting events and cancelled Edinburgh's annual Hogmanay Street Party, having already asked Scots to keep household mixing to a minimum. So, in his video message from Downing Street on Tuesday evening, Mr. Johnson said, "We can't rule out any further measures after Christmas, and we're going to keep a constant eye on the data, and we'll do whatever it takes to protect public health." The announcement came a day after he told reporters that the government was still deciding whether or not to impose further preventative measures. He said ministers were monitoring the data hour by hour, and that the arguments for taking further action were very, very finely balanced. Unfortunately, I must say to the people that we will have to reserve the possibility of taking further action to protect the public, to protect public health, to protect our NHS, he added. We are looking at all kinds of things to keep Omicron under control, and we will rule nothing out. The Prime Minister is understood to have been waiting for more data on the variant to become available before he made a decision, a stance that saw him accused of dithering by scientists and his political opponents. Now, do you get what I mean by the scientists, his own party, are like, bro, what are you mucking about for? Like, stop procrastinating, just do something. Like, I think that's mad. By contrast, London Mayor Sadiq Khan was decisive when he declared a major incident over the extent of the outbreak in the capital, while NHS England announced a return to its highest level of emergency preparedness, level 4 national incident, meaning that the health services response will be coordinated as a national effort rather than led by individual trusts. Overall, the UK added another 90,000 infections in 24 hours on Tuesday. That compares to about 27,000 cases this time last year. Chief Scientific Officer Sir Patrick Vallance is said to have led the call for fresh measures to drive down infection rates and ease the pressure on the NHS. Sir Patrick's fellow advisors have equally outspoken, with Professor Stephen Riker, I think that's how it's pronounced, a member of the Governor's Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies, warned that Omicron is coming at us like an express train and insisting that the government must give the public a good, clear message about how the crisis is.
How serious the crisis is.
Yeah,
Is it serious, people?
Yeah. Sorry, people. The prospect of introducing a 2-week circuit breaker lockdown after Christmas has been mooted and appears likely to be broadly popular with the public, with plans made available to ministers for consideration and apparently including a ban on meeting others indoors except for work purposes and limiting pubs and restaurants to outdoor service only.
You lot are taking the piss.
What happens when you work from home?
Well,
So
I work everywhere. I got a job. I work from home. Like, I can tell you, do my job anyway. So like, these rules, man.
It's clear the PM hopes the take-up of booster vaccines, along with the partial Plan B restrictions recently introduced, will be enough to see off the threat. As part of those measures, Britons are currently again being ordered to wear face masks in shops, cinemas, theatres and places of worship and on public transport, to work from home order where possible. The government has further revised its approach to boosters, planning to make them available to all over 18s by the end of December and halving the amount of time between second and third injections from 6 months to 3. All in the hope of starving off the feared tidal wave of infections we are already beginning to see. Some form of Plan C, a circuit breaker or tighter restrictions, could be necessary if Omicron starts to disrupt the NHS over the festive season. But there is little political appetite for any kind of fourth national lockdown, even if it were enforceable. But sage advisors have been unambiguous in calling for stricter curbs, with the influential Professor Neil Ferguson of the Imperial College London openly entertaining the possibility for several weeks.
wow.
Man.
Like, they better not pull that Plan C out, like, because there's going to be elbows for getting thrown.
Yeah. Even before Omicron began it to cast its sinister shadow across the globe, many Britons were already glancing anxiously towards the continent as Austria and the Netherlands reintroduced lockdowns in response to spiking cases of COVID-19. Yeah, the Netherlands went in not long ago as well. I swear not long ago, a couple of days ago or something. And Austria went into an extreme one.
Yeah, I know that.
The World Health Organization, who has said it was very worried about the spread in Europe and warned 700,000 more deaths could be recorded by March unless urgent action is taken, bringing the total to 2.2 million since the pandemic began. Where did they get that number from?
That's what I'm saying. Gas, mate. Let's put it out of here, mate. Like, yeah, let's see that. Well, they've got no understanding of what they're doing. Why haven't they got actual scientists doing this, mate? Why are they still using a sage board?
Well, they did say they were dithering, you know.
They're using sage, yeah, and they have proven since lockdown that all the decisions they made, lockdowns, all the things, have all been wrong. That have all hurt the public. That have hurt the economy.
So even before Omicron began to cast its sinister shadow on the globe, across the globe, many Britons were already glancing anxiously towards the continent as Austria and the Netherlands reintroduced lockdowns in response to spiking cases of COVID-19. The World Health Organization had said it was very worried about the spread in Europe and warned 700,000 more deaths could be recorded by March unless urgent action is taken, bringing the total to 2.2 million since the pandemic began.
Jeez.
So what are we trying to say? They're kind of calling that the bigger picture, innit? My question is, firstly, just on a quick note, where did they get 700,000 from? Where did they get that number from?
Yeah, these numbers always seem to fluctuate and drop whenever they seem to, want them to fluctuate and drop. So
And obviously, what's your view on that? Still, like,
Well, realistically, since the lockdowns have been happening, Boris Johnson have been using sage to predict models of what the outcome and consequences are going to be like, and every single one they've done so far has been wrong. So I don't understand why these probably sage saying, yeah, you know what, we're going to this and that. Well, it's World Health Organization, isn't it? But they're probably getting a lot of information from the bigger countries who are basically running this thing, innit? And yeah, man, it's just a fear thing, bud, for me, man. Like, they just want to scare people into staying home so they don't have to enforce the lockdown. People will just lock down themselves automatically.
And from what you were saying, if these stage tests haven't been working in any way at all, then why would you continue to do something that doesn't work? It's very problematic, right? That's like trying to drive a car that doesn't have an engine. It just doesn't really make any sense.
No,
so they're just trying to keep everybody scared and inside, you know what I mean? So we all feel blessed when we're allowed to go back outside and stuff. So
exactly.
Yeah, going back to Manlike B.Dot's flipping school analogy, mate. Now they've made us so scared to go out to play. We want to stay.
You know what I mean? They want to do indoor play. You know what I mean? They'd rather take pictures and muck about with masks and that, and try and snatch someone's mask for their face and run down the corridor. They'd rather do stuff like that. They'd rather go out. You see what I'm saying? So, you got vid, you know what I mean? And run down the corridor and that. Instead of looking outside thinking, I need to go out there. You know what I mean? I need to go and see what go on.
You know
Don't worry about what's going on outside, you know what I mean? Just stay indoors, spend money.
Great, man. And that's another thing as well. That's another thing of, like, we all know when it was locked down before, there was a boost in online spending in it.
Oh, mate.
Expect another one.
Boxing Day sales, I'm telling you now, they're going to boom.
January sales is going to be a matters.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, but especially for Wales as well, because, like, 26.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
So, guys, impending lockdown?
Ending lockdown, obviously, from the perspective of people in Wales, as I said, from the update that I've had from the articles that we've gone through today, I know for a fact it's going to be happening on the 26th. I've faced situations already where I've already seen parts of the lockdown already coming into place. I've seen businesses already bringing this in. So I know this is going to be happening in Wales. So all I'm going to say is batten down the hatches, you know what I'm saying? because they're gonna cut everything off, look after you and your own, and stay safe, if anything, and try and enjoy your Christmas in some way, shape, or form, or whatever religious holiday you may be celebrating. That's my fault.
So, I ain't really got much to say in it. Like, obviously, as you said, in Wales, get ready. It's happening on the 26th, basically. You know what I mean? I do believe that we're not far behind you. So people need to get ready for a lockdown. I do believe small businesses need to start preparing themselves from now.
Yeah.
Just like, and it's gonna sound bad. I don't like using this word, but for some businesses, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like damage limitation, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you got to try and recoup
the businesses before the lockdown gets into place.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
well, just
go on.
Just going on your two answers. So you both believe that definitely. Well, you know, there's going to be a lockdown on 26. Why do you think then Boris Johnson came out and came on TV and tried to tell people that there won't be any further restrictions? If that's the case, he's already printed that it's going to happen. Why do you think he's done that?
I believe two reasons.
Perception.
Yeah, I believe two reasons. Firstly, I do think that he is trying to appease the public regarding Christmas. You know what I mean? Even though the public don't really care for what he says. You know what I mean? Again, I've talked to people and they've really said they're not listening.
There is some population of the public who do still care. Most of us.
Oh no,
there is still
I understand that, but if they still care, but ask them if they're going to listen. That's the thing. Yeah. They might care, but ask them if they're going to listen. And I can let you know now, in most countries, like, I ain't listening to that.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Once bitten,
and
twice.
Again, I believe it's something they're kind of counting on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They know no one's gonna want to listen, so they're kind of counting on it now.
Mm.
You know, one of them ones. So
I hear that.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm in coherent with you guys. Like, definitely it's going to be a lockdown. I mean, just looking at it a bit deeper, I believe that, like what B.Dot saying, Manlike B.Dot saying, is that it feels more like a last stand. So I believe that if a lockdown, or when the lockdown does go on, I have a feeling there's going to be a few policies that are going to get slid through the Houses of Parliament and that. And when lockdown comes up, we're going to be looking at a new set of, or not a new set, but a couple new restrictions.
Fresh.
That we're going to
refreshed, like, you know what I mean? Freshened up.
That's going to affect us. I mean, even to the point of, you know, you put people in fear, they'll end up doing anything. That's how it goes, I guess. Or they'll end up fight.
Yeah, and
I think with the way things are going, with obviously this is for the next episode, guys. But with the things with the vaccine and the boosters and that, which we'll be talking about next time. I believe the next step will be the chip, the COVID chip that people will have to have. To having their system to access anything.
Are you talking about an RFID chip?
Basically,
like the one that will be, grain of rice. The one that will grain of rice.
Yeah, it'll basically be like that. So you'll have to have that to prove that you are a vaccinated individual in society, and that, you know, you can go into shops and all the rest of it. I reckon that's coming, bro. I reckon that's coming after this lockdown.
Right, listen, it's like, with the way things are going, it's a possibility. As you just said, I do believe that the man, his back's against the wall, innit? Like, obviously, if you're just take it in like the animal world, your back's against the wall and you got one of two things in it, it's fight or flight. And I think he's trying to choose to fight, but it's just how he's fighting we don't know yet, because we ain't seen nothing happen yet. We just don't know how he's gonna fight, but I think that's what he's gonna try and do. It's a last stand. His back's against the wall. He's throwing everything, caution to the wind, I think.
You don't know what's being imposed on him behind closed doors as well.
Mad thing. Right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the episode there. We loved it, as always. Conversation with you guys as well. So thank you for coming back for this episode. Make sure, if you want to look at any information, you can jump online, look at Independent, and get that on Google one time.
Yeah, man.
Go down
anything you see here, you can find.
Go down to the description if you want any links to Manlike B.Dot or DMG's channel. which will also have certain bits and elements of this stuff in there. You get me?
Yeah, man, of course.
And other than that, geez.
Hey.
We appreciate your time today, guys. If you've been enjoying the episode, don't forget to go and leave your comments in the comment section down below. You know, your opinion and view is valid. Go and smash that like button and go and give that subscribe button a headbutt at the same time. We appreciate you, and we're out. Merry Christmas.
Listen, yo, firstly, just before I say goodbye, I hope you have a great Christmas. I hope you have a great New Year somehow. You know what I mean? The best you can make it, you know what I mean? Other than that, big red button, make sure you smash that. Make sure you smash that like button. I've been Manlike B.Dot. The panel's right there and they're great. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Don't know. Happy New Year and all that. Season's